Welcome to this review of Mashle Magic and Muscle Chapter 81, Mash Bernadette and the Excellent Friends. The chapter starts off within some random place with an old-fashioned news person calling out into the street, selling papers, with the main article being regarding Mash being a visionary candidate. They don't seem quite happy about it, not even believing it at first, but from there we move over to where Mash and his friends, specifically Dot and Razor, are playing BS for the last 15 hours. Their eyes have bags under them, and they all look ready to pass out. And I just realized that Razor is wearing bandages over his evil eye. I wonder if he is injured in some capacity or is just using that to seal away its power. Well, if they're going to be fighting against Demeanor and the others, they might need his magic-cancelling eye. But anyway, the lot of them are having fun, in the usual way, Dot yelling at Lance and Lance threatening him back, Mash and Razor both raining on Dot's parade. It's a really comfy atmosphere. Unfortunately it's ruined by Finn arriving to warning them about trouble. And wouldn't you know it, an angry mob has gathered outside demanding that they hand over Mash. They are all worked up, yelling about how Mash needs to be punished according to the law, and how allowing someone like him to take part in a sacred festival is sacrilege. And while Finn is panicking, surprisingly Lemon steps out to speak. Which is good. We haven't had too many moments with her since the beginning of the exam. And what she has to say is to question their entire beliefs, asking them, outside of not having magic, what exactly has he done wrong? She questions them on if they should really be judging people based on their skill with magic, something we know she struggles with. Of course, the crowd can't be dismissed that easily, angrily questioning who she was to even speak on Mash's behalf. And of course, Lemon comes out with the fact she is his wife, which at this point I'm really wondering if this subplot will go anywhere. And of course, this only brings out further chaos to the people outside, much to Mash's dismay, and as if wanting to only further this chaotic mess, Dot steps out, wearing some rectangular glasses, and declares himself Mash's agent. He then proceeds to read off a completely fabricated statement from Mash, before giving them all the middle finger and telling them to go to hell. Of course this only serves to further Mash's worries, asking why he had to go and make it worse. As Dot and Lemon start yelling back at the crowd, one person within said crowd decides to pick up and throw a stone at Lemon, hitting her right below the left eye. Dot is angry, and Mash was ready to go and deal with it himself until Lance stopped him, warning him it would only get worse as he got himself involved. Which, while Lance is right, I still am waiting to see the moment when Mash just snaps and loses his temper, so he can really show off how much of an absolute force of nature he is. But regardless, Lemon, even after getting struck, continues to stand up for Mash, pouring out her heart and soul, and it seems to have actually sparked something in Mash, as he looks on without moving as the wind blows through his hair. A typical anime freeze frame whenever someone does or says something emotional to another person. But unfortunately, people aren't so easily swayed, especially with arrogant, self-centered people amongst them. With one person thinking on how he can gain fame by capturing Mash, declaring that those without magic have no rights, and claiming she's a sinner corrupting their world. And for people who pride themselves on their magic, they sure are using some pretty unmagical methods. Throwing rocks of all things. I get that it's like they are stoning a witch, but you people have magic, why, if you're so proud of it, aren't you using it? Well, not that it matters, because as the stones would have reached Lemon, Mash steps out and either swats them away or catches and crushes them in his hand. The arrogant fool attempts to catch Mash within a black box he summoned from the sky, claiming the walls are 15 centimeters thick. And I couldn't stop myself laughing when I heard that, as if something like that would actually be able to contain a monster like Mash. Watching as the man's confidence crumbled away as Mash poked his finger through the wall was. The funniest thing is how he keeps on repeating how great they are right up until Mash creates a door in the box and steps out. He then proceeded to lift up the box and drop it on the man before throwing the door down to seal himself his own magic box. That certainly seems to take the fire out of crowd as they stare at him with wide eyes. Mash then addresses them himself, telling them that even if they think they can't accept him or that it's been this way for a long time, he'll reach the top of this world and prove not having magic is okay too. Of course, they still don't look content with that, but before things can escalate again, Wahlberg turns up beside Mash, and his appearance seems to cause even greater fear in the public than what Mash did. He then addresses the public, telling them that Mash's fate will be decided on the outcome of the exam, so they need to have a little more patience. That seems to put the nail in that coffin, for now at least. I doubt that this will be the last time Mash has to deal with people not willing to look past his lack of magic. Honestly, this is what I expected to occur during the fight with Margaret, but better late than never. And so, with the crowd calmed down, Wahlberg takes the chance to address Mash directly, telling him how having even one person willing to speak out for you in your life is a rarity, and as such Mash has some excellent friends, which only serves to make the old man proud. Mash for his part speak on the matter himself, saying that he has gotten so much from going to his school, that he will absolutely win the final battle. Of course, Wahlberg knows that if Mash is to fail, then those who supported him will be charged for helping him, so the only path Mash has is to keep on winning. I wonder if Wahlberg himself would be charged for supporting him, despite his position in society? Hard to say. But regardless, the chapter ends with Lemon proposing to Mash and hugging him, while he asks why with a deadpan expression and face faults in the background. This was a pretty good chapter, which reminds us once again, not everyone is cool with having someone who doesn't have magic around, and really reinforces the loyalty of Mash's friends. Well, except for Lance. Up until this point, he hasn't exactly had a major defining friendship moment yet, but I'm sure it's in the works. But that's it for this video. I hope you have a wonderful day or night wherever you are, and if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and maybe subscribe.